I'm watching a sermon by Pastor Stephen Furtick, and it's called "It's Always Been in You," right? And he shouted out his son's YouTube page because his son makes beats, and they're pretty good, trap beats, real nice, workable, right? Like he could go with them, and they can do some real damage, you know. Anyway, he showed us the little clip of one of his son's tutorials. And then he showed a clip of his son 10 years ago when he was a little kid. Because they had another YouTube channel. They were just posting family videos just to post them. And his son's banging on the drum set, bang, 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 bang. And then his son said, and then I went back into the beat for another measure. And Stephen Furtick looked at his son and he said, it's always been in you. You do tutorials at the age of 10, you know. And so I just thought to myself that it's very important for me to support my kiddos, right? It's very important for me to be attentive to their gifts and talents, and it's very important for me to see which way they're going to fall and catch them, so to speak. I just want to support what they want to do, because when I came up, my mom was so busy taking care of us, trying to make her marriage work and trying to do everything that she felt to be right at the time, right? My mom did everything she could with what she had, right? And I will forever be thankful to my mom because she did that. That's all she could do, you know? Even my dad's, like my stepdad, I didn't really vibe with him, and my father wasn't really there. I love my dad, even though we're not speaking right now, still love him. He did what he knew how to do, right? It did hurt for me to not have someone call something out in me, right, and help me stick with it, right? That did. I look back on it, and I would that had been different for obvious reasons. But from then until now, I've had to. And it's gonna sound like I'm tooting my own horn, and if I am, so be it, because it's the truth. I'm good at a lot of things, right? A lot of different things, right? I can draw, I can make music, I can install AV equipment, I can write, you know, just a lot of different things, and you know, personally and professionally. And I've spent 44 years trying to figure out, you know, where the start point is, like what's the thing, you know. So at this point, I'm just putting out a lot of things, like this video, for instance, and just seeing what'll catch, you know. Something has to do something, right? Like everything that I'm good at is not for naught, right? So eventually, but I gotta put it out there. So I remember back in the day, I used to want to do music, or so I thought, right? I want to make beats, this, that, you know. And then I see all these rappers dying and all this quote unquote beef, and I'm like, I'm cool, man. How I want no part of that, right? I can still make music every now and then, but it's not something that I'm as impassioned to do now as I was then, for whatever reason. I'm a published author now, right? And books is where it's at now. I'm also still a soldier, you know, coming up on retirement from my military career, and I'm an instructor, right? So I get to teach. That's awesome. Why am I highlighting all of this? Because I've had to figure all of this out over a 44-year time span, and it is what it is, right? However, I look back, and I didn't have, you know, being that my parents were focused on what they were focused on at the time. Again, absolutely no shade, zero. I didn't have someone saying, hey, you know, you're good at this, you know, hey, you know, we're gonna come to your piano recital, or, you know, hey, you know, I didn't have that structure. I didn't have that. I had what I had, and I did with it what I did with it, and I'm grateful. But as a father, I see that my sons are good at certain things. I see that my daughter is certain things, and I try to call that out, right? And I try to echo that, and I try to support that. it's just because, you know, I'm not picking on my sons. They're children, right? And they're so lackadaisical, you know. I'll point out something that they may be good at, and it's like, man, you know, like, and it saddens me because, from my perspective, I didn't have that, right? Like, I didn't have me. I didn't have a dad in my corner, chomping at the bit, ready, green light, go. You know, if I say, hey, I want to make a computer, I got you. Hey, I'm thinking about this. My son over this past weekend, right? We went to Newnan, Georgia, awesome place. Second time going in a row, and he says, "Hey, I'm thinking about this anime." And like, he'll share everything with us about what he's thinking about, and I'm like, "Hey, man, like, you should jump on Chat GPT, type your things in, and like come up with a storyline for this. Like, hey, at the age of 18, you could be a published author, my guy." Like, and he's just like, and he tells me later, like, I do put my stuff in the Chat GPT, and I'm like, that's great. What are you gonna do with it? Like, where are you going with it? You know, you come up with a lot of ideas, just keep going, right? I have a book out called Suffer It to Be So. Examine what you believe, live honestly with the answers. And it took me 2 days to really put it all together properly. Once I'm inspired, it's a wrap. Same thing if I'm making a beat, right? It's a wrap. I'm on it until it's right. Like, so I was just trying to offer an outlet. Now, I'm not offended because he didn't. You understand what I'm saying? It just saddens me. It saddens me because I know what it's like to not have that, right? Like, I know what it's like to feel as if you're being blown off. I had a lot of opportunities when I was younger. I remember one time. Now, my sister, love my sister. Green light go for my sister always. My mom told me one time when I was younger, I was yelling at my sister, and my mom told me to stop yelling at my sister. My sister used to always get us in trouble when she was little. And so I'm like, yeah, well, she did blah, blah, blah. I don't even remember what she did. I just remember what my mom told me. My mom looked at me and she said, I know she did do that, but if you yell at her, she gonna grow up and let some dude do it. And from that moment to this one, there's one other moment that I yelled at my sister, and it just happened like a couple years ago. I love my sister. Just want to get that out there. I'm just setting the background because my sister got to play AAU basketball or whatever other basketball she wanted to play. Well, when I was a freshman in high school, I was really good at basketball. I was going to go to school. I was going to go to Syracuse University on a basketball scholarship. Right, that was the plan. And we played. I went to Richland High School in North Richland Hills, Texas. Right, shout out Royals. And we played Bedford Junior High, and they had this point guard. It was this Indian kid, number 10. I just remember his number. He was dope. He was quick. He was fast. I locked him up on defense. Locked him up. I don't even know if he scored a point that game. His parents walked up to me after the game, handed me a business card and said, hey, man, we got an AAU team and we want you to be on it. Get his card to your parents. I didn't even know what AAU was, right? Went home, gave the card to my parents. They immediately said no. Nope, can't do it. Like, didn't know what the prices were or anything. Nope. So I never got that opportunity, right? And then my sister got it, right? And she took it. She took it far, right? She played D1 basketball for Abilene Christian University, right? She took it far. You understand? But when I see my sons, you know, just kind of ho-hum, it just really saddens me. But I'll never stop supporting my sons. I love my sons. And I hope that they know that, and I just hope that they know why I feel the way I feel as dad when it comes to supporting them and trying to get them to lean into their talents and gifts instead of, instead of them being a pastime or something that's, recreational, So, yeah, for all the parents out there, continue. And if you haven't, start. Pay attention to your children, because they're gonna serve somebody, and something is gonna shape them. And if it's not you, then it's probably gonna be something that you don't want it to be. You know. So I just pray that God help me not to lose heart when it comes to, first of all, figuring out what I'm gonna be. Figuring out what my lane is, the initial lane anyway, and then helping my kids to do it. I try to set a good example, and hope that they catch on and lead by example. And it just takes some longer than it takes others. So, but yeah. I just wanted to drop that because I hadn't even got all the way into the sermon yet. That was like the first 5 minutes, and it just hit me, man. Like, he said, I want to do this because I want, I want to be a good steward over what's in my kid, and I don't want something that's not supposed to get on him to get on him. So he pubbed his YouTube channel in the middle of a sermon that's watched all over the world. Now his kid is famous. I mean, his kid is famous already because it's his kid, but like his kid is famous for doing his thing. And that's great. That's great to be able to provide that opportunity for your child. And I want to do the same thing for mine. I just want him to take it. You feel me? So, free game on the house. I'm going to go to formation before I be late.